Maid's daughter paid a stranger's bus fare. The woman's true status flipped the story. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's begin today's story. Imagine yourself on a crowded bus on a typical Tuesday morning in the city. The air smells of fresh coffee and a faint hint of rain, the kind of scent that promises a change in the weather. People are bustling, trying to make their way to work or school. Their faces a mix of determination and exhaustion. In the midst of this, a young girl, no older than 10, stands with a nervous look in her eyes. Her name is Lily, and she is no stranger to struggle. She is the daughter of a maid who works for a wealthy family. Lily's life isn't like the lives of most of the other kids at her school. While they talk about vacations and the latest gadgets, Lily worries about how her mother's back aches from scrubbing floors and washing windows in the mansion of her employers. On this particular day, Lily is on the bus, clutching her small backpack, ready to head to school after a long night of helping her mother with chores. The bus screeches to a halt, and a woman steps onto the bus, looking flustered, her heels clicking against the floor. She scans the crowd and walks up to the driver, digging through her purse. The bus driver waits, tapping his fingers impatiently, and the woman's face flushes with embarrassment. She doesn't have enough money to pay for her ride. Her voice, soft but filled with worry, echoes through the quiet bus. "I'm so sorry, I don't have enough. Could I just, maybe pay you later?" The bus driver shakes his head, clearly unimpressed. "No money, no ride, lady," he says gruffly. The passengers, some of whom are used to such situations, look away, uninterested. But Lily, standing in the aisle with her backpack hanging loosely at her side, feels a pang of sympathy. She knows the feeling of being overlooked, the feeling of having to scrape by. Without hesitation, Lily reaches into her pocket and pulls out the last of her change, which is just enough to cover the woman's fare. She steps forward and hands it to the bus driver. "It's okay, I'll pay for her," Lily says, her voice surprisingly steady for someone so young. The woman looks at her in surprise, blinking as if she hadn't expected such kindness. The bus driver stares at Lily for a moment before reluctantly taking the money. "Well, I guess that's that. Go ahead and take a seat," he mutters, and the bus continues its journey. The woman thanks Lily, her voice filled with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. "Thank you. I don't know what to say. You didn't have to do that." Lily simply smiles, her heart beating a little faster. She knows that sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness can make a big difference, even if they don't seem like much at first. But what Lily doesn't know is that the woman she just helped isn't just a stranger. She's someone with a life far more complicated than Lily could ever imagine. This woman is the CEO of a major company, someone who has been struggling with her own personal battles, and Lily's simple gesture will change both of their lives in ways neither of them could predict. Stay tuned to find out how Lily's act of kindness leads to a shocking turn of events. The bus ride continued, the city skyline stretching out in the distance, but Lily's mind kept returning to the woman she had helped. She couldn't understand why the woman had been so embarrassed. After all, it was just a few dollars. Yet, the woman's gratitude stuck with her, and she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the situation than she had realized. As the bus pulled up to her stop, Lily grabbed her backpack and stepped off, her thoughts still racing. She had no idea that her simple act of kindness would soon lead to a chain of events that would change her life. A few days later, Lily's mother was cleaning in the grand hallway of the mansion she worked in. The house was silent except for the sound of her mop gliding over the marble floors. Lily was sitting in the corner, drawing in her sketchbook as her mother worked. The family she worked for, the Wilsons, were often away, leaving the staff to keep everything in order. The mansion felt cold, the heavy curtains shutting out the sunlight, and Lily couldn't help but feel trapped. She longed for something more, for a life outside these walls, but it always felt out of reach. That's when the doorbell rang. Mrs. Wilson, the matriarch of the household, went to answer it, and a few moments later, she appeared in the doorway, flanked by the woman from the bus. Lily's heart skipped a beat. The woman was standing tall in a sleek black suit, her blonde hair neatly styled, and her face radiated confidence. "Good afternoon, Mrs. Wilson," the woman said, her voice calm and warm. "I hope I'm not interrupting." Mrs. Wilson smiled tightly, her eyes scanning the woman from head to toe. "Of course not, come in. We were just finishing up." Lily watched curiously as the two women exchanged pleasantries. She had no idea why the woman was here, but she could tell she was important. Mrs. Wilson led the woman into the drawing room, and Lily overheard fragments of their conversation. "I wanted to thank your daughter," the woman said, her voice sincere. "Lily is a kind soul. She helped me when I was in a tough spot the other day." Mrs. Wilson nodded, though her expression seemed a bit uncertain. "Yes, she's a good girl," she said, but there was a hesitation in her voice. "But how exactly did she help you?" "She paid my bus fare," the woman explained, a small smile tugging at her lips. "I didn't have enough, and she stepped forward without hesitation. It meant a lot to me." Mrs. Wilson paused, then laughed lightly, though it didn't quite reach her eyes. "That's very sweet, but you shouldn't have made her do that." "I'm sure she didn't think much of it." The woman shook her head. "Actually, I think she knew exactly what she was doing." The conversation shifted to other topics, and Lily couldn't help but feel a pang of curiosity. Who was this woman? And why was she here? Later that evening, after dinner, Lily's mother pulled her aside in the kitchen. "Lily," she said softly, "I need to talk to you." Her mother's voice was serious, a tone that made Lily's heart race. "That woman you helped the other day, her name is Ms. Elaine Granger. She's the CEO of Granger Enterprises." Lily's eyes widened. She had no idea. Her mother continued, "Ms. Granger came by today. She wanted to speak with you." Lily's mind raced, her thoughts a blur. The CEO? Why would she want to talk to her? Her mother went on. "She offered you a job." A job? Lily couldn't believe it. She had only helped the woman because it was the right thing to do, and now, it seemed like that one simple act had changed everything. As her mother explained the details, Lily's head swam with questions. Could this be real? Could a single act of kindness really open doors she never dreamed of? Her heart pounded in her chest. What would she do next? Lily sat quietly at the kitchen table, her mind racing after her mother's words. A job? Her? It all felt like a dream. How could a simple act of kindness, paying a few dollars for someone else's bus fare, lead to this? The CEO of Granger Enterprises, a company with offices across the country, had offered her a position. Lily's hands trembled slightly as she pushed her plate aside. She had never imagined that one decision could change everything. Her mother, seeing the confusion and excitement in her daughter's eyes, sat down next to her, offering a comforting smile. "You don't have to decide right away," her mother said softly. "But Ms. Granger said that she sees something in you, Lily. You helped her when nobody else did, and she hasn't forgotten it." Lily was still in shock. She was used to being invisible, blending into the background, never noticed by anyone important. And now, here she was, being offered a chance that she had never thought possible. Her mother had worked for the Wilsons for years, but no one had ever treated them this way. The thought of leaving the mansion, leaving the life she knew, was both thrilling and terrifying. What if she failed? What if she wasn't good enough for the job? Her mind swirled with doubt. But the more she thought about it, the more she realized that this opportunity was more than just a job. It was a chance to change her life. It wasn't just about the money or the job itself. It was about what this could mean for her future. She could help her mother retire from her exhausting work, perhaps even take her away from this life of servitude. Lily had always dreamed of something bigger, something beyond cleaning and cooking and always being overlooked. This could be her chance to show the world who she truly was. The next day, Lily met with Ms. Granger at a coffee shop near the mansion. She was nervous, her heart pounding in her chest as she walked through the door. Ms. Granger was already there, sitting at a corner table with a laptop open in front of her. She looked up as Lily approached, a warm smile spreading across her face. "Lily, it's so nice to finally meet you in person," she said, gesturing to the chair across from her. "Please sit." As Lily sat down, she felt the weight of the moment settle over her. This was real. The woman she had helped just days ago was now offering her a chance at something she had never dreamed of. They talked for a few minutes, and Lily could sense the sincerity in Ms. Granger's voice. "I'm impressed by your maturity and your ability to step up when needed," Ms. Granger said. "You have a lot of potential, Lily. I can teach you everything you need to know for this role." But first, I want you to know that this isn't just about the work. It's about who you are as a person. Lily nodded, feeling both honored and overwhelmed by the confidence Miss Granger had in her. After their meeting, Lily walked home in a daze. She couldn't believe how quickly everything had changed. She had gone from being a quiet girl, invisible to the world, to someone who now had the opportunity to make a real impact. As she walked through the front door of the mansion, she found her mother in the kitchen, preparing dinner. Lily took a deep breath before speaking. "Mom, I've decided. I'm going to take the job. I want to help you, and I want to make something of myself. This is my chance." Her mother looked up, her expression softening. "I'm so proud of you, Lily," she said, her voice filled with love and support. "I always knew you had something special in you." That night, as Lily lay in bed, she couldn't help but smile. Her future was no longer uncertain. She had a chance to take control of her life, to create the future she had always dreamed of. She knew the road ahead would be challenging, but for the first time, she felt ready. She wasn't just the daughter of a maid anymore. She was Lily, someone with a future of her own. Lily's first day at her new job felt like stepping into another world. The moment she entered the sleek, glass-fronted building of Granger Enterprises, she was struck by the contrast between her former life and this one. The marble floors gleamed under bright lights, and the polished surfaces of the walls reflected the city's skyline like a mirror. Lily's sneakers squeaked against the floor as she walked through the lobby, carrying her small bag, her nervousness palpable. She had always imagined offices like this to be full of cold, intimidating people, but the receptionist smiled at her warmly as she approached. "Good morning, Lily," she said, her voice friendly. "Miss Granger is expecting you. She's in the conference room on the 3rd floor. Just take the elevator up." Lily nodded, trying to hide her nerves, and made her way to the elevator. She took a deep breath as the doors closed, feeling the weight of the moment settle over her. This wasn't just any job. This was her chance to prove herself. When the elevator doors opened on the 3rd floor, Lily stepped out and walked down the hallway. It felt as though everyone she passed had their own purpose, their own important tasks to attend to. She was just one small piece of the puzzle, but she was determined to make her mark. As she reached the conference room, she paused for a moment to gather her thoughts before knocking gently on the door. "Come in," a voice called from inside. She opened the door and entered, her eyes immediately landing on Ms. Granger, who was sitting at the head of the long conference table. Ms. Granger looked up and smiled, her expression warm and welcoming. "Lily, it's so good to see you again," she said. "Please, have a seat." Lily sat down across from her, feeling the weight of her gaze. Ms. Granger's sharp eyes studied her for a moment before speaking again. "Today is your first day as my assistant. We're going to start small, just familiarizing you with the office and how things work around here. I know you've never worked in a corporate environment before, but I believe you're capable of handling it. You have a good head on your shoulders." Lily felt a flush of warmth spread through her chest. She wasn't used to hearing such praise, but she knew that now was her chance to prove that she was more than just the maid's daughter. Over the next few hours, Lily learned the basics of office work, answering phones, taking messages, and organizing files. It wasn't glamorous, but it was important, and she threw herself into it with determination. As the day went on, she began to feel more comfortable in the environment. She watched as Ms. Granger made phone calls and led meetings, her confidence and authority evident in every move. Lily admired her, not just for her success, but for the way she carried herself, like someone who knew exactly what she wanted and was determined to get it. As the day came to an end, Ms. Granger called her into her office. "You did well today, Lily," she said. "I'm impressed with your work ethic. Keep it up, and there's no limit to what you can accomplish here." Lily left the office that evening with a sense of pride. She wasn't just the daughter of a maid anymore. She was a young woman with potential, with a future ahead of her, and for the first time, she felt like she truly belonged. When she arrived home, her mother was waiting for her, eager to hear about her first day. "How was it, Lily?" her mother asked, her face lighting up with curiosity. Lily smiled, her heart swelling with excitement. "It was amazing, Mom. I learned so much today. This job, it's exactly what I needed." Her mother's eyes glistened with pride. "I'm so proud of you, Lily. You're going to do great things." Lily couldn't wait to see what the future held. She knew that this was just the beginning of something incredible. Lily's second week at Granger Enterprises flew by in a blur of new experiences. Each day she learned something new, from managing schedules to assisting with meetings. She quickly became accustomed to the pace, and the more she absorbed, the more confident she grew. She even found herself contributing ideas in meetings, surprising both herself and her colleagues. It wasn't long before Ms. Granger noticed her potential. One afternoon, Ms. Granger called Lily into her office. "I've been watching you, Lily," she said, her voice warm but firm. "You've picked things up faster than I expected. I think it's time for you to take on something more challenging." Lily's heart raced with both excitement and fear. "I'm ready," she said, her voice steady, though inside, she felt a flutter of nerves. Ms. Granger smiled. "Good. I need you to help me organize a major presentation for a new client. It's a big deal, and I want you to be in charge of all the logistics. You'll be coordinating with the design team, handling the schedule, and making sure everything is perfect." Lily nodded, absorbing the gravity of the task. A major presentation. She was about to handle something that could impact the company's future, and Ms. Granger trusted her to make it happen. "Don't worry," Ms. Granger continued. "I know you can handle this. You've proven yourself time and again." As Lily left the office, her mind buzzed with the weight of the responsibility. The stakes were higher now, but she couldn't back down. She had worked too hard to get here. Over the next few days, Lily worked tirelessly. She coordinated with everyone in the office, making sure the design team had the right materials, that the presentation was polished, and that every detail was perfect. The pressure was immense, but it only motivated her more. She felt the eyes of the whole office on her, and instead of shrinking away, she rose to the challenge. The day of the presentation arrived, and Lily felt a wave of nervous energy rush through her. She was standing in the conference room, overseeing the final preparations, when Ms. Granger walked in, giving her a nod of approval. "Everything looks great, Lily. You've done an outstanding job." The room filled with the executives, and the presentation began. Lily watched as Ms. Granger delivered her pitch with the same poise and confidence that Lily had admired from the start. She was in awe of the woman's strength, but she also realized something important. She was beginning to understand how to be that confident herself. As the meeting progressed, Lily took note of the reactions of the clients. They were impressed, and by the end of the session, the deal was sealed. Ms. Granger turned to Lily, her expression pleased. "You did it, Lily. We couldn't have done this without you." The sense of accomplishment washed over Lily in waves. She had helped secure a major deal for the company, and more importantly, she had earned her place here. Later that evening, when Lily got home, she could hardly contain her excitement. "Mom," she called as she entered the house. Her mother was in the kitchen, but she immediately stopped what she was doing when she saw the expression on Lily's face. "What's wrong, honey?" "I did it, Mom," Lily said, barely able to contain her smile. "I helped close the deal. Ms. Granger said I did a great job." Her mother's eyes filled with pride. "I knew you could do it, Lily. I'm so proud of you." Lily's heart swelled with emotion. She had come so far in such a short time, and she knew this was just the beginning. She wasn't the daughter of a maid anymore. She was Lily, a young woman with her own future, and the world was hers for the taking. Lily's success at the company didn't go unnoticed. As weeks passed, she gained more responsibility, impressing everyone with her work ethic and ability to handle even the most challenging tasks. She had become an integral part of the team, and Ms. Granger continued to show her faith in Lily, giving her opportunities to prove herself. It was one particular afternoon, as Lily was wrapping up a project in her small office, when she received a call that would change everything. The call came from Ms. Granger's office, and Lily felt her heart skip a beat as she picked up the phone. "Lily, I need you in my office right away. I have something important to discuss with you," Ms. Granger said, her voice serious yet inviting. Lily quickly stood up, trying to calm the nerves that were creeping in. She had no idea what this was about, but she knew it must be something big. As she walked down the sleek hallway toward Ms. Granger's office, she reflected on how far she had come. Just a few months ago, she had been cleaning the floors of the Wilsons' mansion, dreaming of a better life. Now, she was stepping into the very office of the CEO of Granger Enterprises. The moment Lily entered the office, Ms. Granger looked up from her desk and smiled. "Lily, please, take a seat," she said, motioning to the chair across from her. Lily sat down, her mind racing with possibilities. I've been watching your progress, and I'm truly impressed, Miss Granger began. You've exceeded all of my expectations. You've done everything I asked and more. That's why I want to offer you a promotion. Lily blinked, unable to believe what she was hearing. A promotion? To what? Miss Granger continued. I want you to take over as my personal assistant. You'll be handling more complex tasks, and you'll have a greater role in shaping the direction of the company. I know it's a big step, but I believe you're ready. Lily's heart raced. This was everything she had worked for, everything she had dreamed of. She had gone from being the quiet, overlooked daughter of a maid to being offered a position that would change her life forever. I'm honored, Lily said, her voice filled with gratitude. I won't let you down. Miss Granger smiled. I know you won't. You've already shown that you have what it takes. But there's one more thing. I've been offered a major partnership with a company overseas, and I need someone I can trust to help manage that project. I want you to be part of that team. Lily was speechless. The idea of working on a high-profile international project was beyond anything she had imagined when she first started. Miss Granger leaned forward slightly, her gaze steady. You've proven yourself, Lily. This is your chance to make your mark. As the meeting ended, Lily left the office with a mix of excitement and disbelief. She had taken her first steps toward a future she never thought possible, and now, with this new opportunity, the sky was the limit. That night, as Lily lay in bed, she thought about how far she had come. She had worked hard, and it was finally paying off. She wasn't just the daughter of a maid anymore. She was someone with ambition, with a future. Her journey was just beginning, and she couldn't wait to see where it would take her. Lily had never imagined her life would change this quickly. After receiving the promotion, she felt as though everything she had worked for was finally coming together. She was now managing a high-profile project with international partners, and the pressure was on. But rather than feeling overwhelmed, she was energized. Every challenge she faced only motivated her to push harder. The days grew longer as she spent more time working, but she never once wavered. She knew this was her chance to prove herself on an even bigger scale. As the project progressed, she found herself working closely with some of the top executives at Granger Enterprises. Their admiration for her grew, and Lily began to see herself in a new light. She wasn't just an assistant anymore. She was becoming an essential part of the team. One morning, as she walked into the office, Miss Granger was waiting for her. Lily, come in, she said with a smile. We've received the first round of feedback from our international partners, and I think you'll be pleased. Lily sat down across from her, eager to hear what the feedback was. Miss Granger handed her a report, and as Lily read through it, her heart swelled with pride. The feedback was glowing. The partners were impressed with how smoothly the project was running and how efficiently Lily had handled everything. You did it, Lily, Miss Granger said, her voice filled with genuine praise. You've exceeded all of my expectations. The words hit Lily like a wave. She had worked so hard to get to this point, and now, in this moment, she realized just how far she had come. The satisfaction of knowing her hard work had paid off was overwhelming. But just as Lily was about to respond, Miss Granger continued. There's more. We've decided to offer you an even bigger role. I want you to oversee all of our international projects moving forward. Lily's eyes widened in disbelief. This was beyond anything she had ever imagined. She had gone from cleaning the floors in a mansion to managing international projects for a major company. I don't know what to say, Lily stammered. You don't need to say anything. Your work has already spoken for itself, Miss Granger said with a smile. This is your next step, and I have full confidence in you. The next few weeks flew by as Lily took on her new responsibilities. She was busier than ever, but she loved every minute of it. She learned more than she ever thought possible and became a true leader in the company. The more she worked, the more she realized that this was just the beginning. She had come so far, and there was still so much more to accomplish. One afternoon, as Lily was reviewing some reports, she received a call from her mother. Lily, I just wanted to say how proud I am of you, her mother said, her voice filled with emotion. You've come so far, and I know this is just the start of something incredible. Lily's eyes welled up with tears as she heard her mother's words. Thank you, Mom. I couldn't have done it without you. It was in that moment that Lily realized just how much her journey had changed her. She wasn't the same person who had entered Granger Enterprises months ago. She had grown stronger, more confident, and ready to take on whatever the future held. Lily's new responsibilities continued to shape her in ways she hadn't anticipated. As the head of international projects, she found herself managing teams across different countries, overseeing complex negotiations, and making critical decisions that could affect the company's future. The pressure was immense, but for Lily, it was exactly what she had been working toward. Every challenge only made her more determined to succeed. One evening, after a particularly intense week of meetings and travel, Lily found herself in Ms. Granger's office once again. She had been feeling the weight of her new role, the constant balancing act between work and personal life, and the demands that came with it. She was still adjusting to being in the spotlight, and sometimes it felt overwhelming. Ms. Granger looked up from her desk as Lily entered and smiled warmly. "I'm glad you could make it. I know things have been busy for you." Lily nodded, grateful for the understanding. "It's been a lot, but I'm managing." Ms. Granger motioned for her to sit. "I know this job is a big leap for you, Lily, but you've proven yourself time and again. I want to make sure you're handling everything okay. How are you really doing?" Lily paused, considering the question. She had been pushing herself so hard, trying to meet everyone's expectations, that she hadn't really stopped to check in with herself. "Honestly, it's been harder than I expected," she admitted. "I feel like I'm constantly running, never really catching up. But at the same time, I can't imagine going back to how things were before." Ms. Granger leaned forward, her gaze focused. "That's the thing, Lily. You're in a position now where you're not just doing this for yourself anymore. You're leading teams, setting an example, and creating a path for others to follow. But I also know how important it is to take care of yourself. You can't give your best if you're running on empty." Lily absorbed her words, the weight of them sinking in. She had been so focused on proving herself that she hadn't taken the time to find balance. "I've been so afraid of failing, of not living up to the opportunity," Lily confessed. "But I realize I've been sacrificing too much in the process." Ms. Granger smiled gently. "Lily, everyone who's achieved something significant has faced those fears. But the difference is in how you deal with them. Don't be afraid to take a step back when you need to. Your work is important, but so are you." The conversation left Lily with a sense of clarity. She had always been driven, always pushed herself to be better, but now she understood that true success wasn't just about achievements. It was about maintaining her well-being too. Over the next few weeks, Lily made small changes. She set clearer boundaries between work and personal life, took time to recharge, and even started a wellness routine to help manage stress. She learned to delegate when necessary and trusted her team to step up. The transformation wasn't immediate, but over time, she found a rhythm that allowed her to excel without burning out. One day, as she stood in front of a team of international partners, presenting a successful project launch, Lily realized how far she had come. She wasn't the same girl who had stepped into the building months ago. She was a leader, confident in her abilities and her worth. And for the first time in a long while, she felt truly at peace. Her journey had been full of challenges, but it had also been full of growth. And as she looked out at the faces of her colleagues, she knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be. Lily stood in front of her apartment window, looking out at the city skyline. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over everything below. It had been a year since she first walked into Granger Enterprises, a year since her life had taken a turn she never thought possible. She had faced doubts, challenges, and fears, but now, standing in the quiet of her own apartment, she could finally breathe. Her journey had been one of transformation. From a shy, uncertain girl, she had grown into a confident, capable leader. She had proven herself to be more than just the daughter of a maid. She was someone who had built her own future through hard work and determination. As she looked back on the months that had passed, Lily thought about the people who had supported her along the way. Her mother, who had always believed in her even when Lily doubted herself, and Ms. Granger, who had given her a chance when no one else would. Without them, none of this would have been possible. But the most important lesson Lily had learned was about herself. She had learned that success wasn't just about achieving goals or earning promotions. It was about the person she had become along the way, the resilience, the strength, and the self-belief that now defined her. One evening, as Lily was walking home from work, she passed by a familiar coffee shop. It was the same one where she had met Ms. Granger for the first time. She smiled to herself, thinking about how far she had come since that day. Her phone buzzed, and she checked the message from her mother. I'm so proud of you, Lily. You've done it. You've made your dreams come true. The message brought tears to her eyes. It wasn't just the job or the achievements that mattered. It was the way she had stayed true to herself, no matter how hard things had gotten. Later that night, as she sat down to dinner, Lily reflected on how much had changed. She wasn't just living her life anymore. She was creating it. She was shaping her own destiny, and the best part was, she knew she had the power to make anything happen. As she finished her meal, Lily felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had come so far, and though she knew there would be more challenges ahead, she was ready for them. Her journey had only just begun, and for the first time in a long while, Lily felt like the world was truly her oyster. She had the courage to go after whatever she wanted, and no matter where life took her next, she knew she would always be ready. The girl who once cleaned floors and dreamed of a different life was now someone who could create that life. And that, in itself, was the greatest success of all.